Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bold and Different podcast. Our conversations are centered around spotlighting individuals who have decided to rise above the norm and take a bold step in whatever facet of their lives. My name is Gideon. I'm the host and founder at Pixis. I'm currently here on call with an amazing person. He's the founder at Soundhalla. But not to do his intro for him. I would like him to tell us a bit more about himself and let him do an intro for us so we can learn more about him. So that's
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So I'm David. I've been in the music industry for about a decade. I've been making music and been performing since when I was 8. So that's a long time. It's over 2 decades ago. I have a huge love for technology. Studied software development, and I came back. I left America, came back to Nigeria in 2018 fall to create impact here. I could see that there was so much to be done here, and while I was working there, there was this huge burden on my heart to come back here and create something great.
nice. I mean, I've always heard people say the same thing too. There's potential in Nigeria. They want to come back to Nigeria. But like, why was that? Like, what's the reason behind coming back to Nigeria? I mean, I'm really
What makes
curious.
it crazy? What makes it crazy enough to come back, right? That's a good question. Uh, I think I think and something I tell my people is it's know your place. Everyone has a place. Like if you are supposed to be in Nigeria and you go to America, you will struggle because there's no grace for you there. Like the problem you're supposed to solve, you were created to solve is in Nigeria, and you go to America to try to solve that problem. They don't have that problem. The problem is here, right? So, and even if you're supposed to start in Nigeria and spread globally, you got to go where you're supposed to start. So for me, it's just there was a huge burden on my heart. Like you got to come back. And I eventually thought I was going to come and perform on stages and be Baby Do. Yeah, wow, okay. But God had other plans. He wanted me to go somewhere because he wanted me to create a stage for the Baby Do's. And I did not see that. All I was seeing was let's be the main guy and shoot video. But God always has other plans. And when you surrender, he'll show you.
Nice. So I'd like to learn a bit more about your background, how you started out, probably from school days into what you're currently building now at Soundhalla.
Hmm. Yeah, so like I said, when I was here, I started performing on stages in school, primary school here in Nigeria, secondary school. They used to invite me to senior classes to come and perform. And they would take me from my class and come and I'll be doing rhymes for them and doing some funny rhymes. And when I think about it, I'm like, was I really do that? But they really liked it. And I went to Faith Academy. That's the secondary school for Covenant University. So I did, I graduated then, and then, I wanted to chase music. At some point, I wanted to even drop out of secondary school because like this is not for me, man. I should be on stages. I mean, they're calling me to perform in school. Why can't I go up? And after that, went abroad, had the privilege of going abroad. And then that's when I started to become the person I am right now. Like started the process of becoming. I began to explore the passion I have, music. Started making a lot of songs. I got into tech, started learning more about how technology works. And I didn't even think at some point I'll be music tech, but I knew tech had my heart, but I didn't really like coding, but I loved the idea, right? And music had my heart, but I didn't like actually, it was later I figured out I didn't actually like being on stages, but I can sit down in the studio for hours. So you can see, I didn't know that once upon a point, the two of them would come together. But I used to just put in work in two of them, and went to uni in the US, UK, and then the US. Worked in a couple of companies, got a lot of experience, and then came back to Nigeria.
Okay, nice. So, starting out, right, did you have any limiting beliefs, that probably made you stall? Did you think, oh, no, I'm not sure I can do this, or I'm not confident enough to do this? But like any limiting beliefs for you?
I think when I say limiting beliefs would be, I never really had that. I feel like something I always tell people right from when I was young, and it was crazy. When I would think about it, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why do you think you're so special? I used to say I'm the chosen one. I'm talking about in secondary school, like, what makes you think you're the chosen one? But I always felt like there was something more for me. Like I'm not average. So that was always my belief.
Let's get right into business, right? I know you talked about you finished school, you worked with some company. I mean, let's touch point on all of this, guys, on all of this, right? Experiences. What were you actually doing for these companies, and how did that shape into or metamorphose into what you currently do today?
I work for a company, an insurance company in the US that um they taught me marketing. I actually have an award. that they gave me.
All right.
And that's when I realized I have a passion for marketing. I can sell you anything, right? They teach you to sell, how to sell. There's a psychology to it, right? How to sell something to somebody, how to get prospecting, working for the insurance company. I like to call their names, but working for them, they taught me a lot in terms of how to sell, which is the whole point of business. When you build your product, if you can't sell, you ain't making no money, right?
Definitely.
So that was the number one factor for us, was they taught us how to sell. We went out and we sold. We sold a lot, right? And it was amazing. And then Wells Fargo, I like to shout them and put them out on the map. Wells Fargo is one of the biggest banks in the US. Working for them, they taught me structure. Now, it's something that most entrepreneurs don't like, because if you're really like an entrepreneur, usually you're not a you don't like structures. You think outside the box. You
Mhm.
don't like anything that blocks you. But the truth is, you cannot have a great company without structure. So you need to learn that there's processes to things. And Wells Fargo working there, I could see a lot. Working in a bank, it's not the way we do it tonight, right? We're working in, but there's a lot of structures. Everything is smooth process, and you kind of learn how things work. How this branch is working with that branch, and everybody's transparent about things. And you see stack of dollars, how they keep it in, and nobody's tempted to go take that money out. And because there's a structure around, you don't go there alone.
Mhm.
Basic things, but they taught me a lot of structure. So I'll say Wells Fargo and insurance companies I worked with. I worked at other places, but those two companies, especially, like they taught me marketing and structure, and two things you need business.
So would you probably advise somebody starting out a business? Do you advise them to get like an experience in an institution, or you want them to just start? You want them to probably just experiment with trying out their own business first?
But here's what I'll say: why do you want to start the business? It's always the why. Is you want to start the business because you want to make money? That's a whole different. It's a different vision. Like I didn't start Soundhalla to make money. I rather just. It's one of the hardest things to do to say you want to start a business. It's actually really hard. So why not? It's better to go get, if you want to get money, it's better to go work for somebody and get salary than to actually start a business. It's crazy, it's hard. So I'll ask you why. Why do you want to do it? Now, once your why, you're convinced that you want to do this, there is no stopping you. You will learn what you need to learn. You fail, you get back up. You fall, there can be zero naira in your account. This happened a lot of times. There can be $0 in your account. You don't care. It's not about the money. You can see what others can't see. It's the vision. It's not with the eyes, it's in the mind. You can see what others can't see. So you've already arrived at your future before you even got there. So even when it's not working, you are moving. Even when there's zero people listening, whether there's 10 people on the app, it does not matter to you. You can see the millions on it. So you're constantly innovating your product. You're constantly thinking, how can I bring more people in? You're constantly thinking, what better ways can I do this? Can I do this company? Can I make this thing work? So my advice would be ask yourself why. Once the why is clear, like this is why I'm doing it, and it's not about money. It's bigger than money. We know you want to make money. Everybody wants to make money, but it's bigger than money. Once you get that why out there, nothing can stop you. Because when the haters come, when the money is not looking like it's coming, when everybody's saying, "Guy, what are you doing?" You can only you can see that vision, right? You can see it, like this is where we're going. We can get there, right? And you just keep moving. So once you figure out the why and you chase it, you get it. But if your why is not strong enough, you cannot. And this is one of those things I learned from the insurance company. They always told us the why. You are going out to help people's lives. You are going
Mhm.
out to secure their generations. When you understand that why, it's not about the money anymore. It's like this person falls down, that they didn't have nothing for their family, and now we can give you an insurance policy that can cover your generation and put you into wealth, right? Your family into generational wealth. That's exactly what we're selling to them. So that is for me. I'll ask the person why. Like getting experience, all that part is cool. You should get it. That's nice. But once your why is set, you could be the first time founder, right? And go crazy, right? Because you want to learn.
I really love that. But then, you talked about vision, right? So how do you have this amazing idea in your head, right? But how do you communicate this idea to people who are working with you? Because obviously, as a CEO, you probably cannot handle everything on your own, right? You definitely need to get some helping hands here and there, right? How do you sell this enthusiasm to your staff or to your employees?
Um, how do you sell the vision to staff and to employees, right? That's the question.
Mhm.
I'd say the first energy they get is your energy. If someone believes in something, you see it just from the way they interact with you. You see it. Like if I'm excited about something and I believe in it, the energy is contagious. Like you can feel it.
Naturally.
And so yeah, you don't need to force it, you don't need to make it up. It just comes out of you. So if you believe something, everybody can see you believe it.
It starts from you, yeah?
It starts from
Starts
you
from you as
always,
the founder.
always, always, always.
The day you come to work and be having a bad day because probably the investors you had probably are probably giving you hopes on investing in your business. No, they probably went a world, they snubbed you, and then you're probably having a bad day. How then are you no, because if you don't believe in what you're currently doing, how then are you going to encourage your employees to say, oh, you guys should stay? I believe this is still going to work. How do you convince yourself to convince other people in this situation?
The way I told you about the vision. Remember, we went back to the vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to see something that if nobody was coming with me on Soundhalla, I'd still go. Like
Okay.
I'll still do this. You have to get to that point. Like if nobody gives me money, I'll still do it. And for me, this is where my own spiritual side comes in the sense that it's because I know I'm not alone. That's why I can stand alone because I know I'm not alone because nobody can really stand alone, right? It's because I know there's something driving me saying, David, this thing you're doing. I've started a lot of businesses. I've started doing a lot of things, but there's a grace on when I started Soundhalla that I've never seen. Right from when we need money, or the people that are working for the company, like it's ridiculous. Like these people work for most of them work for international companies, big companies in the US. Why are they working? They work from Nigeria remotely, but why are they working for Soundhalla? Why are they building this up? What do they see that drives them to come do this? It's not money. So why are they doing it? Right? There has to be something. And so for me, I know that's that grace that comes with when you're in your place. Things are opening up for you that you can't explain. Because if you could explain it, then to be you. It's not me. I understand there's something else driving Soundhalla. So for me, I sell the vision by and I my constant faith in God is what keeps my energy up. So even when I'm talking to my team, the last sometimes I tell them, yo, it's God behind this thing. It's not you, it's not us. Because the team has changed. The team that started Soundhalla, there's only one person that is still on the team. And he's not even a staff of Soundhalla. He's our advisor, lawyer, legal. There's no other person. We've turned the team over, right? Because as you grow as a leader, your team has to come up to you, unless your company's not going to go anywhere. So as you grow and you become like there's some how you started is not how I am now. Like I think it was August last year, I cleared almost half of the team, and we brought in new people that took the company into a new space.
But like, why did you
Right.
clear? Why did you clear these guys?
Once again, it's the thing. Like you're becoming somebody. The more you're becoming of who you are, you can see your vision clearer. You need people around you. If it's only two people, if it's one person, somebody who you know his heart is there, her heart is there. Not people who are divided, like they don't really know, or they're waiting for money, or they're not sure. This is not to cast aspersion on my former people. That's not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I understood that everybody likes startups. Everybody likes an idea, but not everybody loves an idea. The love part is a choice. Like I'm going to be
Yeah.
with you whether this thing goes down or not, and I will give you all my energy. The people on my team right now, I know them. Like I can vouch for them. These people were doing it without being part of Soundhalla. They were already bringing things into Soundhalla. We're not. They just liked the company, and they were working for us for nothing. So when I even extended an offer to them, like bro, I love this. Let's go. It doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's go. So when they're working, they love being part of what they're doing. And there's nothing like working with somebody that is working with you not because of what you have, but because of who you are. It's an amazing, different feeling because they're not my team members. I call them founding team members, right? Because everyone's like a business partner to me, not as in my no. Everyone's like a business partner because everybody's giving their blood, sweat, and tears to build this thing,
100,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, and but it starts with you. I remember talking to one of my product managers, and he's like, David, sorry, our product officer, the CPO right now of the company, and it's like, David, this idea, we've changed it a couple of times. This platform we're building, we've gone, this current platform, we worked on it for 8 months. Like, he's like, we've gone back and forth on it. But you know what, David? Your energy, like, once you talk to me about this thing, it's you who are following.
Drives them.
That's the whole point of a leader. Like, they're following you. Anybody care? The idea can change tomorrow. We can pivot, we can go different places, but we are following you. So, you as a leader, as you become, if your staff or your members, your team members are not becoming a better version of themselves, you can't work with them
Wow.
and you just have to part ways. So that's why we had to let them go.
As you hit the nail on the head, right? I really love that explanation. Like, thanks for that, David. But just to go back in time, like you said, as you being the CEO, your team can probably leave at any point in time, but like how will you be able to deal with exhaustion? I mean, stating the fact that you as a CEO, you have to be on top of everything, you have to be on top of your team's happiness, you have to probably do business development, you have to secure some partnerships, you have to do some fundraising, so many things in your day. Like you wake up in the morning and then you're like, oh, so many things in your task list. So how do you deal with exhaustion?
Um, so I have a crazy routine. Usually my routine is 12 to 6, I'm working in the morning, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. I don't like early morning work, like 6 to 11. It's not my time. It's dull time. I like it. Right. So usually, unless I have a meeting plugged in at 10 or 11, I would sleep at 6, which is my meditation time. So from 12 to 6, I do prayers, then I study, do some sales and marketing courses, then I meditate. What's the step, which is what a lot of people don't do? What do we need to do to take us to where we are going? How are we going to get there? And meditate. If this thing is not working, what can we do? What other idea can we do around this? How can we? These are what the users are saying. How can we make this thing work? I'm not talking with anybody, just me and my best friend, the Holy Spirit. Like just doing some serious meditation. That's the first thing. So I put the troubles. Most times people carry the burden themselves, which is why I said if it's God sending you to that place, he'll carry it with you, right? Or he'll carry it for you. So for me, I put it on him, and then in the morning when I wake up, I just go on my work. But at night, that is the time where I put it on him. And then in terms of self-care, my friends know I do self-care a lot. Like I could just wake up and say, yo, I'm going to a hotel. I'm going to stay there for like 2 days. Like this one, or I'm going to, Canaan Land, Winners Chapel. I will go there and I'll lodge in the Covenant Guest House and or places anywhere. I'll just go and stay for a day or two,
It's like
right?
changing your
Self-care.
environment.
Yeah, just switch up your environment and no work,
How to help
no
you?
work. Yeah, no work. So unless my team members are texting me something or they want something, but I check out because as a CEO or entrepreneur, you're working every day of the week. I don't know what people talk about 9 to 5 or Monday to Friday. It doesn't work for me. We have our meetings on Sunday evening. Like team meetings are on Sunday evening, right? Saturdays just texting me. Sundays I'm taking ideas. So when I want to take that break, I just take some time, and that time for me is I have something on my phone called Gratitude Week, gratitude folder. Every week, every day, what has gone? What have you added? What have you done? What has happened? Because when you can think, you can be grateful. If you can't be grateful, you will be frustrated. No amount of money will be enough. Nothing will be enough for you, right? So looking back, you can see, okay, we're progressing, right? Okay, the year before we didn't have any company. The next year, you had a company that had 17,000 users. Okay, now we have this partnership. We can now offer funding up to 5M to artists. Wow. So now the name is getting open in the industry. Wow, we have a new application that is crazy that's coming out right now, and we're going to turn everything around. Well, when you can think, then you cannot be grateful, and that would now fight the depression, the exhaustion, or the feel like, oh yeah, I'm not going anywhere. When you feel like your life is progressing, you can't be depressed. And when you're tired, just sleep. So that's how I deal with it.
So it's
Yeah.
like celebrating the smaller wins, right? And you know that there's a bigger vision out there, right? You know you want to probably hit maybe 10 million MRR, but like you're probably more appreciative of maybe the small 10K you're getting today. So it's like appreciating the smaller wins in your life, right?
Yeah, and most people focus on money. Not saying money is not good, but most people focus on money. And the focus should be on the impact for the customer. Like listen to Jeff Bezos and a couple of other people. The focus is on the customer. If you focus on them and you keep serving them and they keep coming, your stuff is going to grow. So for me, I'm always thinking, how can we make the best product? Our mission is to give every artist with a dream an opportunity to impact the world with their music. How are we doing this? We're providing tools. So now we have a funding tool that with our financial partner, we can give funding to artists up to $5 million. Wow, okay, that opens the door to a lot of things. So that's a tool. We have a music discovery platform that's coming out, the version 1. That's to help artists get heard and also for the fans to get rewarded that support their favorite artists. But that's amazing. So now the artist is getting the key thing, impact, either by giving you money or by giving a way for people to listen to you, which is what you need as an artist. If you focus on the customer, you will always see revenue always coming from somewhere because you're creating value.
Love that
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So just to reiterate, yeah. So
Mhm.
let's talk more about hiring. Because I think there's this quote about saying some of people around you sort of defines who you are as a person, right? So what do you look out for in when you're hiring somebody to work with you?
Hmm. As a, you know what, Like when it comes to hiring, it's based on need. First of all, as a startup, most people, especially when you raise some money, is the first thing they think about is let's go find who can carry this thing. Like I was talking to one of my team members and I was like, David, let's raise this money. And everybody will now collect this amount of salary. And when I was talking, I was like,
Mm.
okay. Because in my head, that's not how it works. So in my head, like you have to be productive. It's your productivity that determines the cash that's flowing back. Because if you raise, let's say you raise $500,000 or $1 million, and you go and hire people and you're paying them 200K yearly, but your revenue coming in is only $20,000, you will at some point be dead as a company because you're not matching. It's not matching. So for me, right, our hiring stuff is based on need, right? Starting out sometimes, most of the times, it's equity we're using as the barrier. You're getting cash, but it might be cash and equity, but most times equity, right? As a startup, what's the point of giving all your cash away? You should be using to build and sustain the company. So for us, that is the key part for us in terms of hiring is based on need. What do we need now? Not what do I want? I want a lot of people to be on my team. But what does Soundhalla need? One and two, these people coming, do they fit our culture? Right? Will they will they disrupt the system? Right. So sometimes I bring you in as 1 month internship. Like come in, come check it out. I know you're good. Just come. Let's feel your energy, right? And within that 1 month, we can know if you'll be there or not, right? We can know if you feel the team's energy or not. So for me, those are two things. We need you, really. We feel your energy and you match our culture. And then the third thing for me is value. Like the value you're bringing is huge. Like our current head A&R or in the amazing guy. He was pushing the company even before I asked him to come on board, and he's really crazy when it comes to marketing. And for me, it's a no-brainer because I already know he fits with culture. We see things very similar, and it was easy hire for me. So those are the three things that helped me when selecting people to join the team.
Yeah, interesting one actually. So now, after you selected these guys, how do you create that ecosystem that makes them want to stay? And I think beyond just the vision, right? How do you create that ecosystem that they want to stay?
That keeps them there.
Mhm.
So first of all, you can't hold like this is the rap song, you can't hold a bad girl down. You
Mhm.
can't hold somebody that wants to be there,
Yeah.
right? You can't hold somebody that doesn't want to be there, sorry, to be there. So for us, I always want people that want to be here, right? So for me, that's a big part for me. You have to want to be part of the company. So if you want to be part of the company, after 3 months, if your energy goes down, I know it's just like you like Soundhalla, you like the colors, you like the name,
Yeah,
the
or
H.
something, an
Yeah.
idea behind it, yeah.
It's not you don't want to brainstorm with me. You don't want me to call you at 10 o'clock. You don't have our time, right? So understanding that like people that want to be part of it, even if they leave. I have a product manager that actually left. He had to go do some other work. And I always make it clear, like guys, if you are too busy, it's a startup you can't be part of. We're not paying you as much, don't it's fine. You can step away and you can come back. But if you step away well, you can come back later. Like you can buzz me and he can buzz me anytime. And I won't even unless there's somebody taking his position, I can just say, bro, okay, fine, sure. Like no wahala. Because when he was always giving his energy, his time, I knew that he couldn't handle the thing on his plate was too much. He had to let one go. And unfortunately it was us, and that's fine, right? But the relationship I have with him, amazing, because he wanted to be part of it. He just didn't have the time. So for me, the thing is, you want to be here. If you want to be here, you be here. And people, if they want something, they'll make time for it. So when they're not making time for it, I know you don't want to be here. You just like the name, and we'll just send you on your way. Or we make you independent. So we have some people that we call independent E&Rs that push our funding product, right? Different countries, and they're not part of the core team, but we have a deal with them as part of the Soundhalla family that if you bring a certain deal, we give you certain this or whatever. So we do that for the independent E&R. So you can be an extended hand of the team, but not be part of the team. So you don't have the responsibility of showing up to meetings or answering to anybody. You be your own boss, right? Pretty much. But for the core team, you must want to be here. If you don't want to be here, man, that's the door. I tell everybody that that's the door. Like it's not by force, right? So that if you're here, I'm here. We all respect each other and we do our work. Yeah.
So just for the listeners who are curious about what Soundhalla is, could you briefly talk about what Soundhalla is and what you guys do at Soundhalla?
Oh yeah, sure. So Soundhalla is a music technology company, and we provide tools that give every artist an opportunity to impact the world with their music. That's what Soundhalla is all about. Our mission is to provide tools, right? We have a funding tool where we use artificial intelligence in partnership with our financial partners to bring in funding for artists, right? Up to $5 million they can get from Soundhalla and our partners. On the other hand, we have a music discovery platform which is about to be released. It's integrated with Spotify, where you, as a fan, can earn money listening to your favorite artist. I know it sounds crazy, but it's real. And we've integrated with Spotify, and how you're earning that money really is because we're allowing the artists to reward the fans who stream their music often the most. So think about it. Last year, every year, Spotify releases Spotify Wrapped, but you never get rewarded for that. You stayed to Wizkid's concert or Burna Boy's concert to 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're shouting and complaining. Well, now they can reward you,
Oh,
right?
nice.
We are the most active fan for them, right? The most maybe top 20, top 50. They have that opportunity to reward their fans back, right? So that's what we're doing. So the artists can reward the fans who support them or stream their music the most on Spotify, and then the fans can get rewarded. So that particular platform has about 17,000 users already in the MVP stage. So this version one, we're about to take it to market, and it's global. So these are the two tools have right now that we're pushing, and our mission stays the same. Let's provide tools that will give every artist an opportunity to impact the world with their music. That's the mission. That's what we're driving at, and that's what we keep pushing, and that's what I keep preaching.
Nice one, David. We'll be wrapping up the show very soon, but I want us to have like a reflective moment. If your younger self met you today, how would you feel about what you're currently doing? And how would you react if you saw your younger self?
Well, I think it'd be, first of all, grateful that I did not quit music, because there was a time when I didn't even want to do it anymore. I was like, what's the point of producing songs? I mean, I have 5 albums out. Right? You're producing songs and nobody's listening. There's nothing more painful than spending hours in studio and nobody's hearing you, because you don't have the knowledge of promotion or the money to push it. And it was really like, I think my younger self would be thankful that we stayed on that part. I'm thankful to my parents that pushed me to do technology in the UK. I didn't really like fancy. That's like, I should go and be doing music. I should be on stages, man. Let's go. And by the knowledge I learned, the knowledge I acquired there helped me. Now we have a music technology company. I manage devs, right? We have CTOs, like able to hold conversations. Like I I thought out the whole product, right? Even though I'm working with my CPO, but the ideas come from me, right?
Mhm.
So be able to I remember my first product I built in 2017, right? For my school in the US. I remember I did almost like a social app for the university community, so that people, when they come in, new students, when they come, they can interact with all students without even meeting them, right? But that's when product really started for me, right? So it would have been keep going, and I'm sure my younger self will be thankful that we just keep going, because sometimes, man, you feel like it's easier to go and get a job. It's easier to stay and get remote work and focus on it and make some money. But
Well,
the thing is, depending on the kind of house you're building, if I'm building making money to just if I'm building a skyscraper, it's not the same cost as the person who's building a bungalow. It doesn't take the same time, right? So it's that patience, right? I don't really have it, but this company has made me develop patience, because sometimes I'm like, let's quit, but then you remember where you're going, see where you're going, see how far you've come, see the impact you're already making, and then you keep moving, and then you start seeing ideas. So for me, I think my younger self, and I think this self later in the future, will be thankful that we kept on moving, despite the fact that sometimes it's like, let's quit, just keep moving.
yeah, I love that. And I think my key takeaway from that is about patience. Sometimes as a founder, you want to move fast, you want to iterate, you want to go fast, but you just have to be patient, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you do.
nice one, David. It's been actually fun talking to you. I've been telling a lot of things myself. Yeah. So, but if there was one thing you would want our listeners to take away from you, what would it be?
Hmm. That's a deep one, but I think our first thing I would say is find your place. Find your place. You were not meant to do everything. You were born to do one thing. You
Nice.
can do anything, but you were not meant to do everything. I got that quote from Miles Monroe. You must be able to find your place. When you find your place, everything you need is in that place, right? You don't see birds coming to your door asking for food. Why do you see human beings begging? Because most times we refuse to stay in our place, and most times your place is not what you want, it's what you were created for. And it might not seem like you can even do it. Like if you told me one day I'll see you, sometimes like see you, I'm like, bro. Some in fact they will call you Mister sometimes on the comment, like, bro, David. Like everybody call me David, please. Like don't bring that Mister, just call me David. Because the heart is too heavy. Like you can't tell me, who am I? Like I want to be an artist. Like tell me as you see you, are you crazy? What does that even mean? Right. So, but understand that if this is your place, one thing is grace. I'll share this personally. Something that my relationship with God he gave me was he told me one time I was worried about funding. He said, focus on the product. I will bring the people and the funding. If God sent you to that place, if He sent you to that place, He's responsible to bring the funding. He's responsible to bring the partners. He's responsible. Your job is the product. Your job is to create the thing that will impact people. Your job is to think, how can I take this thing out there even more? And as I can't even make this up. The more I focus on that, I remember one time we were looking wanting to build product, and I was just pacing around my room and just meditating and praying. And the next minute, I just got a call from one investor like, "Hey, David, what's up? Can you come to the office?" Bam, 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 bam. That same day, we agreed on an amount. I
Wow.
didn't reach out to him; he reached out to me. So that's the grace that comes with staying in your place. But if you try to do somebody else's, I wake up. Imagine I wanted to be Davido. I still wanted to be that. I'll be struggling. So how many people are trying to be Davidos, but God has sent them to create the stage for Davidos to rise? Right? How many people are supposed to be the people who create the stages for Elon Musk? Somebody was Elon Musk's teacher. Somebody was that teacher. Right? What it does to your space, right? When you're trying to force your way. So for me, my takeaway or the takeaway I'll leave with anybody, anyone trying to do anything, whether Nigeria anywhere, is find your place. Please, like we just said, stay in your place, patience. And when you stay in your place, the grace required is there to take you to places you can never dream of.
Nice one. Nice one. But then at the end of the day, do you think you might be going back into releasing some records or something?
Oh, I was actually walking around my estate the other day. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just, package. I still have songs I have not released. I was like, maybe I should pack like 3 or 4 songs of 2021 that I made and just like put them on Spotify and just vibes out. But for me, even though sometimes I want to record and do things, I just come to the point where I know my place. So I'm staying there. And all the other ones are fizzy. Now we know where it's supposed to be. So please drive on your own lane. Don't cross into somebody else's lane. Right.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on the call today, David. It's been actually very nice talking to you and very, very impactful hearing from you. Thank you very much, right? And I would actually wish you best of luck in your startup, Soundhalla. So I'll definitely be linking your startup's websites and what you guys do on the description for this podcast. So you guys can always check them out later on. So on to the next one, guys. Cheers.